live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Back to another season of Lounge Time. Hope you guys enjoyed your off season. We are back just in time during the preseason of the 2025 NFL season. We are back in August.
How we doing?
It's a new season.
It's a new season.
You know who he is. I hope some of you know. It's my Uncle Al. He's usually here for preseason predictions.
And all the wacky predictions.
You'll get one of those today.
Oh, sure.
But before we get started today, I want to welcome our new audience. This will be the first episode going on Rumble for Lounge Time. I wanted to expand a little bit this year. I've done YouTube for 4 years. This will be going on 5. Rumble, this is your first episode. So hopefully you guys are going to like it over there. But we wanted to expand a little bit this off season. Figured that another streaming site could be the game changer for more viewership. We grew a little bit last year. I don't know if you knew this, but Lounge Time had 4 record-setting episodes as far as its views, and the one that me and Pat did right after Super Bowl 59 went over 200 views in a day.
Thank you, Pat Davenport.
Yeah, he'll be on.
Ham.
He'll be on this year. He'll be on this year.
And a special shout out to him.
Yeah, he'll be
What's up,
back
buddy?
on. Yep. So, Uncle Al,
Yes, sir.
we now have 1 week of preseason down.
Yeah.
But we are allowed to give our playoff predictions. We are allowed to give Super Bowl predictions. We will be talking college football because I have some teams that I'm high on, but then there's some where I'm like, I don't know if they're all that. Plus, one thing, and we're going to save this to the end because you know when he's here, we got to talk about video game football too.
Yeah.
And let's just say that not a good sign. Not a good time. But
No
we'll
good
say,
news that I can say, but it's news.
we'll get to it. But, Uncle Al, let's start with the team you are a fan of. Now, if this is your first time watching me and Uncle Al is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yes. Yes, I am.
This offseason, it's not been too great. It's not been too great. They did get George Pickens, a wide receiver from the Steelers. But even with one move that I would say was pretty good, there's a lot of baggage and noise that comes out of it. And you got Mike McCarthy out, Brian Schottenheimer's in, and you guys all kept telling me, oh, we're going to get Bill Belichick to come to Dallas. He goes to North Carolina.
Good for him. I think he's going to love it there. But that's my opinion.
But you keep telling me you're going to get a real coach, but you got Brian Schottenheimer now. So what are your thoughts on now Brian Schottenheimer taking over for Mike McCarthy, and what are the realistic expectations for him?
Brian Schottenheimer comes from a pedigree family of football who's always, his father, or his uncle was his father. Was Marty Schottenheimer?
Marty was his father.
Was his father.
Yeah.
So he's got so much football in his blood. I got to worry about the DNA there. He knows football, okay? So, his father was a great coach, great motivator, and Hall of Fame inductee, right? Marty's in the Hall of Fame, correct?
I don't know definitively if he's in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know. I believe I thought he was, but if he isn't, he's going to be.
Yeah.
The only team he had trouble with was Denver and Elway. But otherwise, he coached. He coached the best of his ability. The players he had. And he saw some good things in his life, and so I'm not worried about his son. I think his son, he knows football. As a motivator, well, we'll see. I mean, because now he's the coach. He's not the offensive guy or the defensive guy. He's a coach, so we'll see how good he is as a motivator.
Yeah.
let's give him a shot. That's all I can say. I have nothing. I have no track record to speak of with him, so I'm gonna hope for the best. But as far as who he is and where he came from, I got no problem with that. So going forward, I'm hoping for good things.
So the Cowboys, I know you have told me on previous occasions you are done with Dak Prescott. You've seen enough.
I'm not a hater. I'm not. I've just seen enough sample size over the past since he was drafted. When he was drafted, he looked, and they had drafted a couple people. They were rookies. They had a great year with the running back who didn't pan out to be who everybody thought that he was going to pan out to be. But Zeke didn't step up to that level. So, again, Dak showed signs of brilliance, signs of a lot of leadership, but as the years went on, it just seemed like that didn't pan out as well as everybody thought it might. Because when he took over for Tony Romo, when Tony got hurt, he had the hot hand, as Jerry Jones said. We can't put Tony back in because Dak's got the hot hand. I remember this exactly is what he said. And Dak did have the hot hand. So you don't take a guy out when he's got the hot hand, and he was winning. Those Cowboys were winning. Jerry said, we'd like to have those Cowboys winning again. And they were. But since then, not so much. And I've noticed in my estimation and the way I see quarterback play, my most respected quarterbacks in my eyes were the ones they were always cool under pressure. They didn't get too high, they didn't get too low. The great ones always were like that. Joe Montana is one. I can tell you, Joe Cool. They call him Joe Cool because of a reason. He always calmed everybody down in the huddle. He was the guy that said, calm down, we're going to do this, and they did it. He had the leadership, he had the skills. Dak, when I see him in huddle, he's wide-eyed, looks like Mike Singletary, like a linebacker who's ready to hit somebody. He's like, rattled. He's like ready to go. He's got too much rage. Like, he needs to settle down. Settle down. Because the team goes as a quarterback goes. That's the way I saw it in football. The rest of the team follows the mood of the quarterback. So, to me, again, I don't hate Dak Prescott. I just don't think he's the guy that's going to take us to the promised land. That's just my opinion. So, we'll see what happens, I guess. You still got the job, right?
He's still starting, but you guys did pick up, I don't know if you remember this name, but they picked up Joe Milton from the Patriots, who ended up winning a game when I thought we were going to tank for number 1 overall last year, but that did not age well, and that was Gerard Mayo's parting gift to us before he got fired, and Joe Milton before he got traded to your team.
Yeah. But
Joe Milton has a cannon of an arm.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of upside. The thing is just how he's developed. So I don't know if...
Again, and we have a whole new thing going on with the Schottenheimer regime, new coaches, so we'll have to see. I mean, new coaches can make a whole difference. You got a head coach, it trickles down with his coaches, and they're the ones who handle the players. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best here. I mean, again, I don't have anything to sample it off of with the Schottenheimer regime here. It's just starting out in Dallas, so we'll see. We'll see.
So another key thing that is going on with the Cowboys right now is Micah Parsons requested a trade, and he wants his money. I think he's earned it.
He wants to play for this guy. We're watching the Jets game as we speak.
I mean,
but that's what I heard. He wants to come play for Aaron Glenn. That's what I heard.
No, I thought I heard going back like a while ago. I thought like one of the Pennsylvania teams. I thought Washington with Dan Quinn being there. That's what I did hear.
Okay.
So I think it's one of those teams that I think he wants to play for. Now again, do I think he's going to get traded before the year starts? No, I don't think he will.
I don't think Dallas can afford to lose a guy like that. Not really.
Well, here's the thing: you got Dak Prescott, you're paying $60 million a year to. You got CeeDee Lamb paying $35 million a year to. You have a lot of your cap allocated to 2 guys, and you've had to lose a lot of guys too, which leads into my next question.
Yeah.
You guys are at best hoping to be 3rd in that division with how the division looks. Eagles are Super Bowl champs.
Washington went to the Super Bowl.
Washington went to the championship game.
Right, correct.
Yes.
So
and they got Jaden Daniels, but Terry McLaurin, I just got an update. Terry McLaurin's going to actually try to end his hold in and kind of get him in action. They want to get him in action, and it looks like he'll be back in uniform.
Right.
And then the Giants, well, they kept Dayball, which was a shock to me. I thought Dayball was done after last season, but Mara and them are going to give him another year. They get Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss. They get Abdul Carter, the third pick, the defensive end from Penn State. They made some good acquisitions, but they faced the toughest schedule in the league. So, looking at where the Cowboys are in the state of the division, I think at best for you, it's looking like third best team in the league. Where do you see the Cowboys as far as how you stack up against the rest of the NFC East going into this season?
Except for the Giants, who look pretty good in the preseason so far. Again, I can only estimate that if the Cowboys play at their very best, they it's a new season again, and things happen. Again, I always remind my young partner here that things are always brand new in a new season. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Dallas has enough talent right now, in my estimation, but like you said, about midway through, because Washington's pretty darn good from what I saw last year. They did get, they beat Lions, which was very impressive to me in Detroit.
Yep.
That was very impressive.
Yep.
It was very impressive to me.
Yep.
But again, the next week they could not get past Philadelphia. Philadelphia showed their true colors. It was defense again that wins championships, even though that Washington had a really hot hand towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They moved that ball, but Philadelphia shut them down pretty much. And I respect Philadelphia for that. Dallas's thing again is I don't think our defense is the greatest right now. Offense definitely needs work. So yeah, you're talking about actually third, fourth, maybe even But now, just now, if our offense comes alive all of a sudden, we'll see. We'll see how these new receivers pan out.
You do know Washington added Deebo Samuel this offseason.
And Deebo Samuel coming from from Frisco, right?
Yep. So
he was hurt though for a while.
He was, but I think as a 2.
Well, he was still good though. I mean, he
Yeah.
was definitely a guy worth picking up.
I think he's a solid number 2 option.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to use him like Kyle Shanahan did in the backfield and all that. I don't think it's going to be that. Unless Cliff Kingsbury is more innovative than I'm imagining the scenario of this. But I feel like Debo's a great 2 to complement McLaurin.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, the question is how much does he grow from a great year 1 to a year 2?
Well, there's a curse there.
Yes.
There's
CJ Stroud.
The sophomore curse for every quarterback comes out as a rookie. A lot of rookie quarterbacks broke all kinds of records when they came out. Everybody thought, oh, here's the next second coming of whatever. And then the next year, they go silent because there's enough film on them now for defenses to handle them. Now that they feel they can.
I will say
How
there's
to either
been some
contain him
exceptions.
well, there are a couple, but a lot of times the sophomore year isn't as good as the freshman year.
Yes, in most cases, but there's been some exceptions.
Okay, but I think that Jaden is a very mature for his age.
Yep.
And judging from how cool he was under pressure last year, I think he will have a decent year as a sophomore quarterback. I don't think they have to worry about him so much, especially if they don't put the whole task of winning on his shoulders. Mm-hmm. If the rest of the team can hold and do their job, as we know who said that, do your job, I think Washington has a good shot to go all the way. I think they have enough. And so they're going to be tough to beat, especially that's a rivalry of ours, Washington and Dallas. Been there for a few years. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that goes.
So, if you had to stack the division right now, who would you give the division,
Right now, still the world champs are the best.
Okay.
And right under them is the Washington football team. And the rest of the NFC East, again, Dallas will probably be a third. I think we're better than the Giants from last year. But I tell you what, I watched the Giants play last year. I'm only watching the second preseason game as we're doing this. We're watching the Giants-Jets. Giants offense put up an awful lot of points last week, more than I've seen them do in years. I was pretty impressed with him, and they have a new quarterback now.
You got a carousel of guys.
You got carousel of guys.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson is already.
Jameis Winston. Jackson Dart.
Jameis Winston, I know how you feel about him. But Jameis Winston got a rocket arm, but he's Mr. Interception. Eventually he breaks down to that every year.
Russell Wilson doesn't see the field well.
Russell Wilson, I think, has had his best days, but he's still got experience. He's a Super Bowl winner, proven winner. Mm-hmm. He's got experience winning, which it translates a lot to a lot of new players. You got a lot of young guys on the team. Mm-hmm. Again, if you don't put it on his shoulders, he can make it work for you. Mm-hmm. He's calm under pressure. If you give him protection, he can do the job. But you can't put it on. He's getting up there in age too. So, but you got a carousel of guys, true, on the Giants. And they all look pretty decent in the preseason so far. DeVito looked good last week. He threw the ball well, made good decisions. So, I'm going to say, based upon last year's performance, I still think the Giants are a little bit better. I mean, the Cowboys are a little bit better than the Giants, but not by much.
So, all right. So it sounds like from you got the Eagles winning the East, and then Washington as one of your first wild cards?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think Washington has that potential, yes.
All right, so we'll go through the rest of the NFC before I ask you your final 7 in the NFC as far as making the playoffs and stuff. So let's move to the NFC North. Now, I'm going to give a little tease for something later that I'm doing, okay? The Lions, they are one of the teams that lost they lost both of their coordinators. Ben Johnson now within the division to the Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams to develop him. Aaron Glenn is the Jets coach right now.
Yeah.
They won 14 games. Yes, they get their defensive guys back healthy, and that's a good sign. But now it's the task of replacing both coordinators and expecting to be really good again in that division. The Packers, they were a little bit banged up last year, but they...
Still banged up.
They are. I mean, Jordan Love had, I think, a thumb, but he should be good to go week 1. I don't worry about them. I mean, Matt LaFleur, he seems to be a guy that can get the best out of Jordan Love with his system. They really love their young rookie receiver. The Bears, Caleb Williams enters a big year 2 with Ben Johnson now calling plays. At least, hopefully, a competent offensive coaching system around his development that needs to see a jump from year 1 to year 2, especially with what they had to give up to go get him last year to get that first pick and see if he's a franchise guy. And they moved on from Justin Fields as well.
Yeah.
But I do think the Bears had a sneaky hire this offseason that I think deserves more attention. Dennis Allen, the former coach of the Saints, is now their defensive coordinator. I really think that move's going to help a lot because Dennis Allen's a good defensive mind. And Chicago's got playmakers on that side of the ball. The problem was Matt Eberflus just didn't know what the fuck he was doing on that side of the ball and just did not look like he was a guy that could run the team at all as a head coach. And then the Vikings, Sam Darnold's gone. Their offensive line has serious questions to me. I'm a little concerned with that secondary a little bit. They did manage to keep Brian Flores as their defensive coordinator. But J.J. McCarthy era starts, and he sat out all of last year due to an injury. So the NFC North, you could argue it's one of the best decisions, if the best divisions in football, if not the best. How do you see that division playing out? Do the Lions kind of, is it still...
I'm going to say this, the Lions have got the personnel.
They do.
They play hard football.
Yep.
Their coach is a great coach, okay? And he's going to carry, and he's going to want the guys who took the place of the guy who's left, he's going to look for the coaches with the same type of attributes to continue what he wants to bring out in a football team. Mm-hmm. I believe that they're still going to be a top contender. I think they're going to be in a top tier team.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to do 14-2 again.
No.
But because don't forget they were banged up.
They were
when they got to the playoffs.
They were
in the mid-season form. They probably would have won. I wouldn't say that. They had the flow going. They looked unstoppable.
Yep.
In the mid-season form, but then they got injuries.
Yep.
And when they got to the playoffs, that haunted them. It did. I know they did, and I know the people in Detroit were it's one of those towns like Buffalo. Yeah, we won a championship. We wanted to win a championship, and that's the closest you've come in a long time in Detroit. And I root for you guys, because I really do. I mean, because I want every team to have, and every fan to have a chance to have a championship. And here we go. You got a good team, so you got a good shot. You got a good shot. I believe they do. I think Green Bay also It's a tight division.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It is. I think the weakest still is the Bears. I think that's the weakest team. I think that the Packers are better than the Bears. But then again, that's the whole rivalry in football. That always turns out to be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
But, if you want to go pound for pound, player for player, I think they got a little more chemistry going on in Green Bay right now, a little more established chemistry, at least on the offensive side of the ball, to generate, some wins. But I think Detroit still is the cream of the crop there.
Okay.
I think that Sam Darnold being gone from Minnesota is a good thing. I think because I don't hate anybody, but Sam Darnold showed a lot of bad characteristics in his gameplay that I as a head coach would have had him benched way before his prior head coach had. He would have been on the bench way before because he just showed he was doing the same things over and over. He had a couple good games and then he would revert back to doing these bad decisions. And he would he would turn over the ball, throw interceptions, what have you. I was kind of disappointed in that. But there was stretches where he looked good, but then he went back to being the old Sam Darnold.
Yep.
So good luck to him, wherever he is. Where is he now?
Seattle.
Seattle. Okay.
Which we'll get to.
We'll get to that too. But yeah, again, I think that Minnesota, again, it's very tight to call over there. I'm going to go like this with the monsters of the Midway. I'm going to say Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago.
Good.
That's the way I see it
All right.
right now.
All right.
I got to call something, so that's what I see it. Okay.
I'm actually going to throw an interesting situation right now. I'm not disagreeing with your order. I actually think that order is likely. I think Chicago's going to be a little better than what they were last year. I do. They could fight with Minnesota for 3. I need to see J.J. McCarthy. I haven't heard really the best things in camp. And obviously New England just beat Minnesota in the preseason today, which he didn't play. So that's why I have to see it. But I didn't really hear really positive things from him in camp.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like he's kind of a work in progress. I don't completely trust McCarthy to help fill what they were. Now, granted, Sam Darnold did play awful in 2 of the most meaningful games that team needed to make a run.
Yes.
Do I think J.J. McCarthy's going to be like that bad? I don't know. That's a question that I have to see.
I don't think so.
I would like to say no, but I need to see. That's a work in progress. That's a to be determined.
It is.
So
it is. Definitely is.
I will say this. I would not be surprised if the Green Bay Packers beat the Lions out for the North. I would not. I have serious questions if the Lions can replace both coordinators because, as I saw recently in previous examples, look at the Eagles when they lost both Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon in 2023. They started out hot, but then they got they were not the same team the last 5 out of the 6 games. They were not.
Depending on how they handle it, meaning that when the new offensive defensive coaches come in, based upon last year's performance at their peak, you put in the right position. Put as they say, what great coaches do is they put the good players in a position to win. So if you've got a game plan that was working with the players you had last year, and if you kept the bulk of those players, if you look at the playbook that they already have, meaning what are the successful plays that they had, what are the successful formations that they used, they can still use those over. If you're a smart head coach, if you got it given to you, this worked. Why not go with it again? Even if it's your team, you can still use the same plays. You just call them something different. You know what I mean? There's only so many plays in football, folks. Okay? It's not rocket science. But if it works for you and you got the right guys in the right positions to execute how you want it to be executed, you can recreate what you had last year, even with new guys. You can.
I'm not denying that, but like each new coordinator wants their own system.
They do, but if they know what's good for the team, that's what I'm saying. If you got a blueprint already, if you got guys who have proven to you last year, they went 14-2. It's just that you can't take it away.
Yeah.
And if you look at them in midseason form, look what they did. Look at their greatest games. Look at their greatest plays. Look how they executed. Look at them on defense. They played good defense last year, for the most part. When they started to get injuries, it killed them. It could kill any team. You got great players who step up and make plays. When you take those players away, that element is taken away from the bulk of what worked.
Yeah.
If it's working, keep working it.
Yeah.
So I believe Detroit's got a solid shot to repeat as champions of that division. I don't think Green Bay, honestly, the defense I don't know if they're up to par with that.
They're
You know
not
what I mean?
bad defensively. I don't think
Not bad.
I don't think they're that bad defensively. I think this could be a sneaky surprise, like middle of the pack, maybe a little above average defense. I think they're a little better than people will give them credit for.
It depends who they play. It depends who they play.
Well, they play the Lions week 1 in Lambeau.
There you go. There you
So,
go.
and I
We'll
think,
see.
and I kind of, that's an interesting tease maybe for week 1 that we
Yeah.
might do with guarantees. Yes, I have a little something on that, but I also have something on the Lions that I'm like, you know what? I actually think this can happen. And I don't know if I should say it now. Maybe I should. But you ready for this? I'll throw one little. You know what? This is my favorite bet of the offseason. The Detroit Lions will not win more than 11.5 games.
I'm going to give him 12.
I'm going to go under.
Yeah?
Under.
I-
Listen, it's hard to find win totals that you like.
Yeah.
Under-wise, this is one I like. They'll be good. I don't think they're going to win 12 games again. That's hard to do. With losing both coordinators, I like that on my side. I like the under. They'll go 11-6. They're not
Again,
winning.
don't forget. Again, the coordinators don't play the game. The personnel plays the game.
Right, but there's new systems that come into play. And
That's true. That's true. Well,
Okay.
that's what I said before.
yeah, and I think the
You
division's
had a winning
better.
recipe last year.
Yep.
We went 14-2. You got to look at that on film
Mm-hmm.
and take the best parts of it and reincorporate it somehow, regurgitate it somehow into doing it again because you still got the same guys.
Ben Johnson knows that offensive personnel. He just coached them the last couple of seasons. Okay, that's why Chicago's going to be a little bit. Minnesota with McCarthy. Let's see what they do with Brian Flores.
Yeah.
You know, that should be interesting. Green Bay is no slouch. They'll be fine. That division's better. I don't think they're winning 12 games. No way. That's my favorite bet. Detroit
Okay.
Lions under 11.5 wins. My favorite bet of the
Well,
offseason.
they never have been consistent back-to-back winners in recent history. They've had good years and then they drop off again. And they have good year and they drop off again.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a drop-off year.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But
Yeah.
I'll give them the benefit. I'll give them 12 games. You go 11. So here we go. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Green Bay. It's a 10-win season.
I can see. Yeah, I have them about 10 wins.
Yeah.
I do.
No.
So, all right. So we both agree Lions, Green Bay will make the playoffs in the
Yeah.
North. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
The NFC South. Now, this division.
Interesting division.
This is Tampa did not really do much. I think they got one of my favorite players in the draft, Emeka Buka, the wide receiver from Ohio State. I love that pick because Chris Godwin coming off a major injury. They don't know how he's going to be. Mike Evans is getting older.
I was going to say they're getting older over there in Tampa.
Yeah, Jalen McMillan, one of
you-
the steals in fantasy. He did really good. I think he's going to get more playing time. I love him. Their offensive coordinator went to Jacksonville to be the head coach. Curious how the new offensive coordinator is with Mayfield. I think that they'll be good. They'll be kind of the same. I don't think there's nothing significant that's going to change. Atlanta, I think, Michael Penix now going to be entering his first full year as a starter.
Right.
He had some games to build,
He
see
showed
what
promise.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I thought that they added some of their big needs on defense for once. They added Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Leonard Floyd. They got pass rushers. They needed pass rush. They got it. Now, Bijan's going to be their big, bell cow. Love Xavier Watson, the secondary as a safety, to go with A.J. Terrell. I think Atlanta got a little better. I don't know about playoff potential better, but they're going to be in the conversation for one of those last spots. I think they'll be sneaky good. Could win the division over
9
Tampa.
wins.
Could,
9 wins.
Yeah.
And again, they were playing with a lot of different recipes last year to see what would work towards the end. Don't forget they started out with what's his face on the
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, and then it turned into Kirk Cousins' nightmare again. And so they gave the kid a shot, and he showed a lot of promise.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
And they're always saying, "Why would you do this sooner?" I was asking, "Why did you give him a draft Kirk Cousins?" But
That's a whole different conversation. Yeah. So Carolina, I don't know if you knew this. Okay, this is an interesting thing that I actually saw this offseason that fascinated me. So pardon my take. It's a football podcast on Barstool with Big Cat and PFT commentator.
Okay.
They said that every time the Panthers have opened up with the Jaguars, they have went to the Super Bowl. 2003 and 2015. They opened with Jacksonville this season. Okay? Now, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's so crazy how both times they've opened up with Jacksonville, they've made it to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to just say, anything is possible. The new season, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Yep.
But unlikely.
It is.
I can't because Carolina last year showed me almost. I mean, I don't know how much good stuff there is there to talk about.
Well, I mean, they added Ted McMillan, one of the wide receivers in the draft from Arizona, who's got Mike Evans-like comparisons. Yeah. Hunter Renfro's a good slot receiver. You still got Xavier Leggett, who's going in from his rookie season to year 2. Bryce Young, he had some things that, were getting better. Slowly but surely, after the benching, he slowly got better. He played Philly, Kansas City tough. That's good signs.
They did play tough towards the end.
Yes, and that's a good sign. I think that's small baby steps that they need. But considering where, Frank Reich and them, they didn't really have draft picks last year to kind of build that roster, which kind of put them in a hole. Yeah. Now they're starting to kind of hopefully build a little something over there. I do like the pick of Nick Scorian over there, but he just had a really bad injury with his lung. I hope everything's going to be good. I read right before we went on air. And then the Saints. Yeah. Now Kellen Moore's taking over for Dennis Allen as the new head coach over there. They got a quarterback carousel of Tyler Schaub from Louisville. They drafted in the 2nd round. Spencer Rattler, who,
Spencer Rattler's an interesting guy.
Yeah. And Jay Kaner from Fresno State. Those 3 are going to be fighting, but they've always been in salary cap hell. New coaching, new regime. How do they kind of navigate that a little bit? Kelvin Banks as an offensive tackle, I think that, it's a good, that's a good key for, somebody that does not have a quarterback situation solved. I liked him coming out of Texas as one of the top linemen, but he just fell surprisingly low. But this is a rebuild year for the Saints. So I think...
Absolutely.
I think the question for you is, can Atlanta challenge Tampa to win the division? And is it possible that 2 teams could be going to the playoffs from this division? I think it's possible that Atlanta could challenge for the division. I don't know if both can get to a wild card. I can see it, but I am not completely sold too much on Atlanta to take over Tampa.
Me neither. I think that they play each other. They play each other tough.
Yes.
Either way, either venue. They're both natural turf.
Yes.
So there isn't disparaging there. Again, I would have to take Tampa. We would have to take Tampa.
Yes.
They still got some guys left over from the Super Bowl they won. A couple guys, not too many.
Yeah, no, there's a few, yes.
There's a few there.
Yes.
You got leadership there, because, again, if you're a proven winner and you've got a ring on your finger, you've got something that the other guys got, and they gotta respect you for that, they'll listen to you. Mm-hmm. So that helps in motivating the rookies and you guys. Mm-hmm. And again, you got Mayfield, who's come a long way, and you got that brand new receiver in it. So, I think they got more upside right now.
I think so too.
Carolina, again, I think it's a work in progress.
Right.
It's a new season. Like you said, that thing, when they open up with each other, they go to Super Bowl. Who knows?
Yeah, this is an interesting under-the-radar game I want to see, on the low end. It's not a game I want to watch week 1, but it's a game I want to see.
It's the cover of Madden 96. That's when they came in the league.
Well,
that was the cover in Madden 96.
I didn't know that specific covers. And
yes,
stuff
it
like
was.
But
Jaguars Panthers was the cover of 96 Madden.
But I was gonna say that's a sneaky under the radar game I'm not watching, but I want to just see okay, how does Bryce Young go from year 2 to year 3? It's a big year for him because they have to see if he's the long-term answer for them. If not, they're back most teams looking to see the quarterback situation. Mm-hmm. I do think Carolina will be a little better. I'm not going to say significantly better. Atlanta will be competitive for the division. I do think that. But I'm going to say the same thing. I think Tampa would be my pick to win the division.
If you were to tell me top down, I'm going to go Tampa, Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans.
Same exact order. Same exact order.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
To finish out the NFC, you have one more wild card left, and you have one more division winner, it sounds like. The Los Angeles Rams. Now, I know Matthew Stafford hasn't practiced most of camp with a back injury, but Cooper Kupp out, Devontae Adams in from the Jets. I think that's a sneaky good number 2.
Adams is better than you think.
I think so, too. And I think with Puka Nacua, how much Sean McVay really liked using him, I think for fantasy people, too, Rams
are going to be better than they were last year.
I think so, too. Knowing how close I'll tell you one name to keep an eye on from the Rams on defense that I love that they added a late-round gem. Chris Paul Jr. from Ole Miss, the linebacker. That's a name I'm keeping an eye on. I think he's going to be a star in this league. Not a lot of people are talking about him. This guy is one of the hidden gems in the draft. I think That's exactly what the Rams needed at linebacker. I think he's going to be a stud.
Well, that's what made their Super Bowl team was a good defense.
Yes, but they had pass rushers too.
Well,
Now they're not as established like that rotation that they had during that Super Bowl run,
Right.
And they don't have the game record yet, like Aaron Donald was. Jared Verse is good, but he's not there yet. He's got promise and upside, but he's nowhere near what Aaron Donald
No,
was.
well, Aaron Donald was a beast.
Yeah.
He had a great year that year.
Oh, he had a great dominant stretch of years.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
now the 49ers, a team you've been. There's a love-hate relationship with them. You like them on the show when we pick them last couple of years, but you hate them because they're the Cowboys' rival. Now, Debo's gone. They paid Purdy $55 million a year, which now people say they had to do it, but some people say way too much. George Kittle usually gets banged up. Christian McCaffrey gets banged up. Ayuk's getting banged up. Trent Williams is getting older. They have an easy schedule, but people say their window's closed, right? But Mykel Williams, I love that pairing with Nick Bosa on the edge. If Bosa can stay healthy, I do like the Mykel Williams pick in the draft. Alfred Collins in the defensive tackle. John Lynch loves drafting those defensive linemen. Now, the Cardinals, they were good, but they couldn't quite put it together at the end of the year. Kyler Murray, I think, is in for a huge season this year. He needs to do something this season. Enough's enough.
Murray is a weird thing to talk about.
Right, but he's got to do something this year. Kingsbury, there was a whole relationship dynamic that they didn't really get along well.
Again, if you make a guy play a way that he's not comfortable with, he's not going to make the job. It's not going to happen for him.
I don't think it was that reason why Cliff got fired over there. I think it was just a combination of like.
It didn't look like Kyler was happy with it at all.
No, there's definitely something internal that went on between.
You could tell. You could just tell by the body language.
Now, Jonathan Gannon, he's a good coach. I don't know. I think this is a big year for him because now it's year 3.
Yeah.
You got to put something together. Now, I do like that they added another 2 players I liked in the draft. Walter Nolan in the middle, defensive tackle, and Will Johnson, who was injured in Michigan going into the draft. But Will Johnson was a great corner when healthy for Michigan. I really think that helps Arizona's defense, which is Gannon's calling card.
Yeah.
But I think this is more a big year for Kyler because you gave him a ton of money. If you can't win big games now with your division, getting better, and you were fighting for a playoff spot last year, and you went bad. You lost at Carolina, which, thank you, Chuba Hubbard. You gave me a lot of points for fantasy last season. But Kyler Murray, you're in for a big season. You have to do something this season. You have to at least show them that you are the long-term answer because they gave you a ton of money, but you got Martin Harrison Jr. now. You've got James Conner, who's a stud at running back. Trey McBride, arguably the best tight end in football right now. You've got to do something.
He's got weapons.
You've got to do something. There's
weapons.
No excuses. I don't want to hear nothing for Kyler Murray this year.
This is the thing. Like I said, I think it comes back to this again. Design the plays that the man can execute the way he plays football.
I don't think that's the issue, though. I think it's
You don't
more.
think so?
I don't think it is. I think it's an issue where he plays very weird some games.
It does.
And then he plays awful against good teams, and he just can't elevate to franchise-level quarterback production. I don't think he has it. And in the one playoff game he played, he looked awful. Now, let me finish on the NFC West. Sam Darnold now comes in as the quarterback, but they love Jalen Milroe from Alabama. That's going to be the future over there.
Absolutely.
Jalen Milroe has gotten Lamar Jackson-like comps over there.
Yeah. Different type, a completely different type of animal.
Right. So I don't know. Again, they paid Darnold a ton of money. But Jalen Milroe, if he keeps looking good in the preseason, if they really like him, I wouldn't be shocked to see Jalen Milroe at some point. Because Seattle, they lost DK Metcalf, traded him to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett, gone to the Titans. They bring in Cooper Kupp. Good receiver, but he cost me in fantasy. So, honestly, it doesn't surprise me he went home and stuff. But he's not the same receiver.
They let Lockett go. Lockett was a great player.
He was a sneaky good player. He really was.
He's tough.
Yes.
And he was fast enough. He's a good possession guy.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't fumble. I don't know.
He was good. I remember.
Yeah.
But Cooper Kupp, I don't think he's the receiver he once was. I don't.
You know what? No, me neither. I think he had his day.
Yep. And then defensively, I like that addition of adding DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas to their defensive ends, and then Nick Emmanwori, one of my favorite players again in the draft, going from South Carolina to them as a safety to add with Tariq Woolen, to add to Devon Witherspoon. I think Seattle's got a really strong secondary under Mike McDonald. Now entering year 2 as a head coach.
If they added Lawrence, that's a big thing. It's just huge.
I think they'll be sneaky good, but they'll be a competitive loss to quarterback at Seattle.
Okay.
So now,
Well, that's going forward right now.
yeah, Jalen Milroe could play depending on if
How he
Darnold's
does.
not- Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't shock me to see him at some point this season. That's what I think.
That's my
So,
opinion too.
how do you see the NFC West playing out? Do you see a wild card coming out of there as well?
That's tough. If there's going to be a wild card, I'm going to say it's going to be San Francisco. I don't know if San Francisco's really got what they had. They were plagued with injuries. Some of the players they got are getting older. They had their window. They were knocking for 5 years. They played a couple Super Bowls. They lost them. They had their chance. You know what I mean? I don't know.
4 championship games too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm saying they've been knocking. And, I think they lost too much. I don't know if they can regain that in 1 year. I know Kyle Shanahan's a good coach.
Yes.
I respect him. I think he's a good play caller. He has good philosophies. But I don't know if he's got the goods to pull it off, basically, anymore. Right? I mean, he's still got good players.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are getting older.
Yes.
And they're injury prone sometimes. And once they go down, they're not deep at some of these positions. And the number 2 guy is not half as good as the guy who got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a problem over there.
Yeah.
They showed last year when that got hurt. They showed in the playoffs when they got hurt. When Purdy got hurt that time in the playoffs a couple of years ago,
Yep,
the
against the
team
Eagles.
got decimated. They were gone. Everything that team did well was gone.
To be fair, they were found an unfortunate quarterback, and it was handicapped.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if we can say. I mean,
It's a tough one. That is
that
tough
is
to say.
that is real tough. Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, again, they have to stay healthy
Mm-hmm.
to stay as a really good unit, if they can be. But I'm going to say that's going to be your wild card out of the West. I don't really see Seattle doing this, not with Sam Darnold at the helm.
I will say Colin Cowherd likes Seattle. One of Pat's favorite people to listen to, by the way.
Okay.
I am not that high in them.
I'm going to say Arizona. It's hard to say. They do have a lot of new good talent, like you said.
Yes.
They have a lot of good talent. So again, like you said, it falls on Kyler Murray's hands.
It does. It does.
If you can deliver the ball to the right guys, not make critical mistakes, yeah, why not?
So,
Why
all right, let's recap your wild cards before we go to the AFC. Your 7.
Or
playoff-
possible wild cards.
Yeah, let's go through your possible 7 teams to make the playoffs. So you've got the Eagles winning the East,
Yeah.
the Lions winning the North,
Yes.
Tampa Bay winning the South,
Yes.
the Rams winning the West. Now your 3 wild cards, based on how the early vibe is, are the Packers,
Yeah.
the Commanders,
Yeah.
and I believe it would be the 49ers.
Yes.
So out of last year's playoff teams, you only have 1 new playoff team in the NFC.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will say this. So the potential teams that could make the playoff that are new in the NFC. I think it's possible if Chicago can get it figured out with Dennis Allen calling plays defensively, Caleb Williams, if they can get that firepower offensively going, I could see Chicago maybe being a new team. I think Atlanta is possible depending on if they can lean heavy on Bijan, get Kyle Pitts involved more with Drake London, Darnell Mooney. Like, Atlanta has material. It's just how big of a jump does Penix make from the little flashes in the first 3 games he played at the end of last year to his first full year as a starter.
Yeah.
And then I think the Niners are one of those teams, but again, you have that injury bug that worries you. Arizona's close. So I think there's like a range of about 4 to 6 teams you could make the argument for.
I'm gonna say if the Niners get banged up again, it's gonna be Arizona.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me.
Because I seriously.
Yeah.
Because the Niners when they go down big.
Yeah.
They implode.
Yep.
And it goes from a great team to like, what the hell is this? It really does, and everybody's like, wow, because these 2 guys are out or 1 guy is out. Yeah. It just goes down a notch or 2. I think that you got more potential for a team like Arizona to stay healthy.
Yeah.
You got younger guys haven't shown injury prone behavior, and they're brand new. So hey,
I mean, I'd give Shanahan the edge just because I know he's gotten to the playoffs before.
Of course.
So that's why I say that the 7th spot, I'd lean the Niners.
Yeah.
But I could see other teams doing it, but I need to see their question marks where they're at before I can leap one of them ahead of the Niners. But I have that injury thing always a factor with them.
Okay.
So I think we agree on the 7 teams, and we agree who could possibly be I mean, maybe you disagree on Chicago maybe being a wild card as well. A little
I
bit.
think Chicago's got a way to go yet.
That's fine.
I just do.
But for the most part, we agree on potential wild card teams that are close.
Yes.
That could make a run. We agree on that. Okay. So now let's go to the AFC. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, and all you bandwagons, I can't wait to poke fun at you again. I enjoyed picking the fun at you on the offseason. However, you bandwagons better chill out on X, bro. You better chill out on X. I was, and I know you bandwagons by name. I know you by name. Okay? This man wanted to come celebrate with me and Johan when they went down, but we couldn't work it out. But now I got him here now. We can celebrate a little bit now. Okay? But they have been a team that's been to 3 straight Super Bowls. Okay? They went heavy on their offensive line acquisitions. Josh Simmons, a guy they drafted from Ohio State, arguably one of the top sleepers in the draft because he was banged up at Ohio State, goes to Andy Reid. They do get, and I hate saying this, I hate you bandwagons. I do. Jalen Royals, a steal in the late round from Utah State at wide receiver, as enough that you have. And Rashee Rice, that 4-game suspension's on hold now because I don't know why they just decided it a few days ago. Now he's going to play the first 4 games, and they're going to see, where he is as far as that goes, okay? The Chargers. Rashawn Slater, their top right tackle, done for the year. Crushing loss for them in training camp. That's a big injury because,
Well, yeah.
But Harbaugh added Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. They got Keenan Allen back. Denver Broncos, who have probably, a lot of noise I'm hearing is they have probably the best camp right now so far. And Sean Payton, a guy you also like. J.K. Dobbins they got from the Chargers at running back. I think that's a big acquisition for them. They got Talanoa Hufanga and Drake Greenlaw from the Niners, who used to be in the Super Bowl, down to their top defense, adding strength against strength a little bit there. Bo Nix goes in from year 1, who made the playoffs, now year 2. And then you look at the Las Vegas Raiders, Pete Carroll now in Vegas, Chip Kelly calling offensive plays.
Interesting over there, right? Interesting.
They bring
this
in,
is like old names from a decade ago. All right, we're mixing it all up here.
Yep.
But interesting group of players and coaches brewing in over there with Vegas.
Yep.
And it's an interesting. It's all new though. Okay, it's all new. It has been proven. These are all guys that are getting together, and they're good names, and they've accomplished great things at different points in time in their own respective careers. But let's see what happens when they put it all together. Right. Because you don't know. Well, on paper, it looks great.
I'm going to get there. But Geno Smith they got from Seattle, so Pete knows him, right? They got Ashton Genty.
I think being Pete Carroll's a great coach.
Yes.
I think Pete Carroll's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, he most certainly is.
And I think that because he took Geno under his wing, and Geno performed best in his career under Pete Carroll.
He did.
And now he's took him to Vegas, and you know something?
And they got Ashton Genty from Boise State.
You can make a run over there. You can make a run.
It's a tough division, though.
It is a tough division. You're going to have to deal with Denver, and Denver's got, to me, the best coach in football. To me, he's,
whoa.
That's my opinion.
Best coach in football?
I think Sean Payton's the genius.
Over Andy Reid?
Yes. Andy Reid's a great
over Mike
coach.
Tomlin, over Sean McVay.
They're all good. But he's one of those guys. Okay, I'm gonna say.
But when you say the best, I have to question you on that.
Listen, he took a Saints team that never won anything, won Super Bowl. Okay.
No, he did. He did. That was
those. I mean, he had guys who had, that Super Bowl team won, and the way he won that Super Bowl, I loved the way he won that Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And the way he got to that Super Bowl. Those, it was a great season. I felt so good for Sean Payton because I did just the way he likes to, the way he likes to design plays, design the game to be played. He's a great offensive mind.
Yes.
He's a good football mind. Period. I think he's going to make the best of what he's got, and he's got good stuff now. He's got good stuff.
Yep.
So watch out for the Denver Broncos again.
Oh, I think But let me ask you: is the Chiefs dynasty over? And
I'm going to say for the time being, it's going to cool off. I don't think they're going to be dominant.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be dominant. I think them and Denver are going to probably be still the 2 top teams in that division.
Okay.
But I think Denver's by edged them out this year. I think Denver's probably the most potential right now, right there. And I think KC's going to come in right after them. But I think the Kansas City dynasty is going to cool off. They will make the playoffs. They will. But I don't think they're going to go far.
Wait. When you say they don't go far,
I mean, they get, first round, second round, they get bounced. I don't think they're going to go Super Bowl again.
this is him saying it. I haven't said a word, bandwagon.
Listen, they've had their day. It's hard to do in the NFL, man. You went to 3 Super Bowls in a row. Okay. You won 2 of them. Okay. It's not easy to do. Okay. If you show me you won't do a 4th one, I'll be very surprised. Okay. Because people have figured you out. You've played in that division. You've shown your colors. You see what you can and you can't do. Mm-hmm. You got killed last year in the Super Bowl. You didn't even, you didn't show up.
That was so fun.
It was, you guys, listen, they got killed.
Yep.
Okay. Philly showed who was fucking boss.
Yep.
And that was that. Okay. And I think that, listen, they still got good players. I'm not going to say these players are through.
No.
But I think that it's going to temper off. I think other teams are going to rise up in that division and give them a shot. I mean, give them a challenge. And I think they make the playoffs, but they don't go far in the playoffs. They get beat.
So let me ask you this question. Do they win the division, or does Denver finally kind of steal that?
I'm going to say Denver steals it this year. I'm going to say that. I think it's time. I think that I'd say that Denver's got good leadership. They got good material playing. That's my opinion. Okay, you asked me for it. There it is.
So let me say this. Bo Nix to me has to be just a quarterback that just doesn't muck the game up. He has to just play.
Game manager.
Yep.
He's got more potential than that.
Yes. And I think that, Sean Payton knows I can't have him try to win the game by himself. That's not what this team. He doesn't have to, right. You've got a top 5 defense, possibly the best defense in football over there. You've got now J.K. Dobbins, who's a good running back. He's coming off, major injury 2 years ago, but he had a really strong season with the Chargers. I think that, again, I like...
And 2 years is a magic number for injury because injuries take time to heal. People say they rush back from injury, and sometimes they rush back into injury because they come in too soon. They re-aggravate the injury.
Yeah.
2 years is enough time to rest a broken bone where it's almost better than you, So, so Dobbins is back.
Yeah.
And he's going to play for a new coach and a new system.
Yep.
And I think, like I said, good leadership.
He did good for Jim Harbaugh. With the Chargers last season. I have in fantasy, but you have to, factor these in. So, and again, and Denver did play them really close in Kansas City, if not for a blocked field goal, which I don't know how it happened.
These are division rivals.
Yep.
Okay, like Jets and Cowboys. I mean, Giants and Cowboys. They know each other. They play twice a year, every fucking year. Mm-hmm. And so this is not a no secret game. It's like,
nope.
It's going to be all out on talent on the field.
Yeah.
In execution. Again, you got good leadership on both sides. You do. And Andy Reid, has done it. Listen, Andy's had a hell of a run. Okay, but like I said, it's temper off. Not going to be horrible, but it's not going to be their year again.
You know what I will say? The AFC West reminds me back of the mid 80s to early 1990. Remember who was in your division? All those coaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You had Tom Landry at that time. You had Bill Parcells with Belichick as his defensive coordinator. You had Joe Gibbs and Richie Pettibone.
Yeah.
You had Buddy Ryan in the mid-'80s with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
and now, look at the AFC West. Andy Reid, who's won 3 Super Bowls. Pete Carroll has won a Super Bowl. Sean Payton has won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Jim Harbaugh won a national championship in college 2 years ago.
Played for a Super Bowl.
Played for a Super Bowl. So, this division, to me, is the closest as maybe the greatest division as far as coaches in that division since the mid-beasts of the East.
Yes, there's a very cool group of coaches in that division right now. There really is. There's a lot of good football tradition there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can't speak low of anybody in that division as a coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right about that.
Okay.
But we're gonna get to one thing, the special thing we're gonna get about. We're getting back to the AFC.
Yep.
And the AFC East.
Oh.
And AFC North.
Yep, and the South. Don't forget them.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I'm gonna get to the AFC East.
next, unless you can't help yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm going to wait. Go ahead. You run the show. Go ahead.
So AFC East, obviously Buffalo has been the class of that division.
Go ahead.
Josh Allen, again, close but can't beat the Chiefs. They did add Joey Bosa to help their defense. I have serious questions as far as their opposite corner because their secondary just looks very vulnerable. Even when they get to the playoffs, it somehow gets exposed.
I think again, Buffalo is kind of like right now, kind of like the Chiefs in a way in their own in the East, where they've played their best ball, but they couldn't get over that bubble, and I think that it's going to be harder to get there now for them. I think that
I'm going to get to the other teams.
I think there's teams in the AFC that are going to challenge in the East, on the eastern side of the Mississippi, so to speak, that are going to give them problems.
So I'm going to get there.
Okay, we'll get there.
So New England, Mike Vrabel now in for Gerard Mayo. Drake May, they got Josh McDaniels now back at offensive coordinator. Okay, they had a very busy offseason. Adding Will Campbell to the left tackle spot. Travion Henderson has looked really good this preseason at running back. I wouldn't be shocked if he takes Ramondre Stevenson to the starting running back role. Okay, you got receivers in Stephon Diggs. I like the Kyle Williams pick in round 3. People really liked him when I heard the selection. And then their defense, they added Milton Williams. They added Harold Landry. They added Carlton Davis opposite of Christian Gonzalez, one of the best young corners in football. Robert Spillane, I called him a Walmart middle linebacker, but one of my good friends that's a Steelers fan was like, Rich, no, he's going to be really good for you there. So Vrabel comes in, and I think there's a sense of pride now with him coaching in New England, playing there. I think he's going to get the best out of this team. And Miami, Mike McDaniel, there's some culture problems over there. Tua did not look good against the joint practice with the Bears through 3 picks. There's some culture problems in Miami. And then the Jets, Aaron Glenn's now taking over for Robert Saile. Rodgers is out. They bring Justin Fields over from the Steelers. And it's a new regime, so new coaching, stuff like that, new GM. The AFC East. So when you say teams east of the Mississippi,
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I thought you meant within the AFC East alone.
No.
But we'll get to the rest of the AFC. We're almost there. But who do you think that the Bills get challenged, or do you think they still kind of dominate the division? Because I think
they do well in the division, honestly. But I'm not going to say they win the division for sure. I don't know about that for sure.
Who do you got win the East?
Could be your team again. Could be.
I'm going to bite my tongue for a minute.
Could be. You just told me why.
Yeah.
I think, because again, every year's a new year. You don't know what's going to come up. You got a new coach. You got new assistant coaches.
Yep.
You got new talent, like you just mentioned.
Yep.
Okay. And you've got an ex Super Bowl winning player as a new head coach.
Yep.
In New
There's
England.
some pride in there.
So again, it's a New England pride. So you know what? It's not beyond me to see that happen. You could win the East. You could win the East. I don't know if you're going to go.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there, though. I want to, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No.
How deep you can go in the playoffs, I don't know. But we'll see. It's preseason. We don't know yet. But again, this is fun to do. So
see, this man is trying to tease me. I don't like this. This man's trying to tease me. He sees me getting all giddy and hyped up.
You brought up good points. You did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But
I'm saying
very much. Thank you.
On my side of the equation with the Buffalo thing is, like I said, Buffalo's had their window. And I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not going to put it all on Josh Allen because it's not fair to do.
No.
He's a great player.
Yes.
But he has gotten emotionally crushed by these losses. The inability to get past that point year after year after year after year.
Yes.
The young man has probably got a lot left in the tank. But I don't know if it's got to be recycled somehow or something. You can't put it on his shoulders.
Yep.
You got to have a running game, ball possession, and good defense, all of which they don't do so well.
To be fair, James Cook did show a lot of promise when they did get him the ball towards the end of last season, and they just signed him to extension. So I think that's a huge point to bring up.
Yeah.
Non-biasly. Now, keep bandwagons down. This is my turn to get insufferable now. You see, you see, I let you have your insufferable moments. Now it's my turn. I'm not saying we're gonna be, crazy good this season. I'm happy if my New England Patriots get 8-9 wins. But can I see us getting a wild card spot? You damn sure I do. You damn sure I do.
I think you can.
I think so. Now, I'm happy if we win a playoff game. I don't think we will, but I could see it with Mike Vrabel. I can see it with Josh McDaniels calling plays on offense. I can. I am not going to go all the way out like a delusional, Chiefs bandwagon would, okay, with certain things. And, there's other fan bases that will go delusional. That ain't me.
I think
I'm a realist.
you get past Miami a couple times a year, you'll be all right.
No. This is the year we take down Miami. This is the year we take down Miami. You frauds, okay? You lose every time. You fold up like cheap tents when you play a big boy team. This is the year we beat you now, and that's the most division round.
I'm just telling you. I noticed it. You get past Miami a couple times a year, you'll be all right.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get by them this year because Miami's got serious issues, and I'm not a big Tua fan. Tua sucks against elite teams. I will argue to the cows come home with Dolphin fans. I've seen what I've seen. I'm not changing my mind, but I'm going to tell you right now. I'm close to saying New England stand up, but I won't do it. I will say this. I can see a world where I get that last wild card spot. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to stick my chest out and say, I think we're going to make the playoffs, you bandwagons. New England is going to make the playoffs. That's what I'm going to say. I have faith in Mike Vrabel. I'm saying New England stand up for now.
And Arnold
but I'm not going to go there yet.
We'll
But
be back.
I will say, I can see 10-7. I can see us with that 7th seed. I'm happy with that. I don't know if we're going to win a playoff game. I'm going to say no right now. But I'm going to say this. I think we're going to be better than people think. 8-9 wins, I can definitely see. I can see 10-7 with that last wild card spot up in the air.
I'm going to give you 9 wins.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Give me
fine.
9 wins.
But our schedule, we have the second easiest.
I'm going to give you 9 wins.
So, but I know. But
Okay.
I have faith in Mike Vrabel and company. I think they'll figure it out. So,
Okay, we're getting to the point of the show where we're going to have to make this. Okay, we got a couple more things to do.
we got two divisions.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the AFC North. Baltimore, we know, is the class of their division right now. Lamar Jackson, another guy, cannot
win the big game.
the Bengals, Joe Burrow, but they have a lot of noise coming out. Trey Hendrickson had that whole contract holdout situation. Shamar Stewart, the rookie defensive end from Texas A&M, they had problems there. And then the Cleveland Browns, they draft Shador, yes, but
Still not going to. No, see, that's not. Shador's going to have a good career. Not going to happen this year.
no. But I could see him playing.
He's not even starting.
No, but I could see him playing.
He's going to play.
Because Deshaun Watson's
Everyone-
not better.
listen,
Dylan
everyone-
Gabriel's all right.
Yeah. He's
You
a
know,
Sanders. He's going to play the game this year. Trust me.
Flacco is old. I mean,
Flacco is old, and it only takes one bad fucking play, and he's going to be injured if he can't. It could happen. It could happen. Shador's going to get in there. He's
Yep.
going to get in there.
last point. The Steelers, they are old. I know they got Aaron Rodgers, but he did not look the same when he went to the Jets. And again, when there's not many quarterbacks that play well beyond 40, that team is basically the senior citizen team. And I got a friend of mine that's a Steelers fan. You are basically a senior citizen retirement home type team. Now, Mike Tomlin's in a big year because there's a lot of Steelers fans making noise. It's time to move on from Tomlin, which I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's ownership because they just love those veteran players. I don't know what it is. But I don't think older teams are going to be good in an AFC where it's about the young quarterbacks. It's getting younger in speed. I think the Steelers are just too old. And I think that's not good. And it's shown in the playoff game against the Ravens. What is your overview on the AFC North?
I think the Steelers got more than you think left in the tank.
What do you mean?
They are old, but they got experience. I think they got a great coach,
Yes.
which is experience. They got Super Bowl winning coach, it's experience. They got Super Bowl winning
Long
quarterback,
time ago.
Super Bowl winning quarterback now, again, which is experience.
Yes, but he's...
And this, I'm going to tell you because this is coming up to that crucial question at the end of this interview. This is my dark horse team. Very dark horse, so dark that their uniforms are black to make the Super Bowl this year. Not necessarily win it, but to make it there by hook or crook. Injuries on other teams, breakdowns on other teams, of it that the season plays out. I think that Pittsburgh has a shot. That's the crazy prediction that Richard was waiting for. The yellow and black, or the black and gold, or whatever you want to call them. I'm a Dallas fan, so you know I don't like them. I don't like them particularly. But out of all scenarios that are wacky, that's my scenario.
It's not as worse as the last couple you've made over the years.
It has, but it's just as wacky as the other ones.
Let me say this. I got a friend of mine that's a Steelers fan. I don't want him mad at me over this, what I'm about to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get mad at me. You know who you are, okay? To you. No
Are you crazy?
shot.
Are you crazy?
No shot. This happens. No shot. No. I have serious. No. The Steelers will not make the Super Bowl. I will Charles Barkley, NBA, inside the NBA, guarantee the Steelers do not
This is why I'm
make
not
the Super Bowl.
This is why
I will guarantee it right now. I'm Charles Barkley, inside the NBA, guarantee it.
This is exactly why I'm on this show. So
Guarantee the Pittsburgh Steelers do not make the Super
give him
Bowl.
this fuel because he makes fun of me. But you know what? I've seen a lot of weird things happen in his life. I've been watching football a long time, and you never know. But you've got quality guys over there.
They're old.
They are old. They
team.
are. But
they're an old team. Like
sometimes you can get the veterans to come up and rise up and play. It depends on how things go. It's a long season. Injuries play a lot in these football seasons. They're longer than ever, and we'll see.
how many quarterbacks have played well past 40, with the exception of Tom Brady?
Couple played well.
Who?
Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, but I'm talking. He was all right though. Like, come on.
Yeah, all right. You got close to all right, close to 40. Everybody plays to 40.
Okay,
most guys don't even play that close.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go.
But Rodgers has a mystique about him. If you give him the right protection,
I have
and you
questions about that.
and you don't put the game on his back, meaning that if you can run the ball.
Well, Najee Harris is gone. Jalen Warren's your answer? I don't think so. He's good.
Has to be a next man up mentality over here.
DK Metcalf is a crying diva over there. Okay, that's basically they just swapped out an older George Pickens over there. Arthur Smith. You think Aaron Rodgers is going to sit back to Arthur Smith calling plays and let him run the show? No, Arthur Smith. We know what he is. He's going to use his tight ends. That's why they got Jonnu Smith over there. Okay, they're just all right. He's not doing anything crazy. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to sit back and let Arthur Smith tell him how to run the offense. There's no way. I don't think he has any respect for Arthur Smith. If I'm being real.
In their division, I'm just going to say, historically,
yes,
Pittsburgh has had Cincinnati's number, had Cleveland's number, and they play Baltimore tough every year, even if
they give Lamar problems.
Even if they suck, they play it tough.
Yes,
with Baltimore, either at Baltimore or at Pittsburgh.
Yes, Lamar.
Okay, so in that division, I still think Pittsburgh could win that division. Sorry,
I
don't think
they're old. I think it's going to catch up. Look at New England when Bill had a bunch of older players. It caught up to him, right? Okay. This is where I'm saying the Steelers are heading down this route, and I know that Tomlin's never had a losing season. I just think this is a bad sign because when the Ravens run you out the door in their building. Cincinnati, they got Higgins now back. Joe Burrow's going to be fine. The Browns are the Browns. We get this. The Steelers won't finish last in the North, but they're getting older, and that's not a good sign. You need to have some youth on that team, and I don't think that's going to be a benefit. Aaron Rodgers, that offensive line is not as good. They're on par with what the Jets were last 2 seasons. They are. Roger Jones? No. That offensive line is still very suspect. Their defense, TJ Watt, he's an injury away from being, in trouble, and they just paid him a ton of money.
Yeah,
Cam Hayward is 36 years old. Baker Fitzpatrick is gone. Jalen Ramsey is just all right. He's not the corner he was in Jacksonville. Patrick Queen is good. He's the only young guy on that defense. They have serious questions. Mike Tomlin is a great coach, but this team is old, and it's not a good sign.
Okay, I get that. That's exactly why my crazy predictions are crazy.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
It's the dark horse. Out of all dark horses that I've picked, this has got to be the darkest.
No, you've had some crazy.
Well, you told me I took the Saints that year.
No, the Raiders. Well, 2 years ago, the Raiders.
If I didn't make these predictions, there'll be no reason to laugh or make outrageous statements. But this is why I'm here.
Yes.
To create this. So I've created it again.
Yeah, you have.
I have.
And I put in the YouTube post, go find it, what crazy prediction he has. Well, this is the one.
There it is.
All right, the AFC South. Let me quickly wrap this up. So the AFC South, the Texans have won the division the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But I have serious questions about their offensive line, and their defense, I feel like, is taking a step back. The Colts, Anthony Richardson, they look like they're giving up on him. Daniel Jones is basically competing for him, and now it's a competition of, does Daniel Jones start or does Anthony Richardson start? The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, another guy, no excuses. You got Travis Hunter for him now. Brian Thomas, really good young receiver going in from year 1 to year 2. I really like him. Travis Etienne's still there. Okay. Now, the Titans, they're rebuilding with Cam Ward. They're not doing anything like crazy. But do the Jaguars or the Colts challenge the Texans in the South?
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's got a lot of upside because they're young.
Yep.
They're young again, and going against what I said with the Steelers, they're old, yes, but still, Jacksonville's got a lot of upside. I think they're going to challenge the Texans. I think the Texans are still going to be a good team. They probably still will win that division, or challenge, or because I really don't see Tennessee or Indianapolis doing this.
Okay.
But it's got to be either the Jacksonville or Texans. I got to lean towards Texans right now.
That's what I would lean to.
They still got a quick offense. They still got a quick offense. They still got an offense that could put up some numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is suspect to me.
Yeah, Jaguars worry me there.
But again, I still got to take Texans as the best team in that division.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier the Jaguars have Liam Cohen, the Bucs OC, now as their head coach, not Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson got fired. So in the playoffs, AFC teams, you have Buffalo winning the East. You have the Steelers winning the North.
Yes.
The Texans winning the South.
Yes.
The Broncos winning the West.
Yes.
Now your wild cards are Kansas City.
Kansas City.
And who?
I'm gonna say Baltimore.
Okay. One more.
And I'm gonna go Miami.
Over. You trust Tua and them over my team?
Well, no, because I said I think you're gonna win. You're gonna win over this team this year. I think you're gonna turn the tables on them. I don't know how the rest of the season is gonna go, but
Okay.
With Miami's a weird team because again, I think that we've seen a good sample size of this coach. He's got some stuff, but sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes you look at him and say, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
His clock management's awful. I remember the last time I saw him play.
Mm-hmm.
His clock management's awful. But these are things that they have to fix on the field. But I still think Miami's got a shot to be a wild card. I think your team also has a shot to be a wild card.
I think so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do.
So you don't think the Bengals make the playoffs?
Somehow, maybe not. I didn't talk about the Bengals too much. I know Joe Burrow's good. They've had issues over there. They've had, they're still capable of playing good ball. I think they're going to be it's hard to say maybe not a wild card team there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible.
Okay.
It's
All right.
possible. Definitely, I would say possible. I mean, I would like to see them. I mean, again, that's another team that another city that haven't been to a Super Bowl in so long. I mean,
They won 4 years ago.
4 years ago, they
Yeah. Came close.
came close. But I don't know if that window's still open over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ownership's all like shaky over there. Mike Brown just has a history of not being a good owner, not good with contracts, and
again, it's historically in that division, Pittsburgh's been king.
Baltimore
king.
too.
Well, but Baltimore as much as Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh even more so because they just, when it comes to playing their own teams, Pittsburgh seems to have their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They just know how to play them.
Yeah.
It's just the way I see it, the way I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, so here you go. Your wild card teams in the AFC would be your team.
So you're flipping Miami.
I see between your team and Miami, right?
Well, you got to
there,
pick.
coming out of the East.
You got to pick.
Coming out of the East.
So you got Kansas City, you got Baltimore. Now,
Kansas City, Baltimore, and there's one more.
yep.
Let me give it to your team.
All right.
Because if I'm going to go with what I said,
All right.
well, you're gonna flip it on Miami this year.
I'm not sold on them at all. Tua, I've seen enough of him.
I
know what he is.
He has good stuff, but it's all injury prone.
Yeah, but you're relying on protection.
He's concussion.
Your offensive line has never been good.
Not really. No.
No, and their defense is who's their corners outside? Who's their corners on the outside?
They haven't shown me nothing except for against you.
No, but but exactly. And
You've been again. They didn't show me nothing except for you guys.
No.
They've been beating up on you guys the last couple of years.
Yes.
That's about it. You know what I mean? They play the Jets. It's anybody's game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the Jets are going to be better than people think. I don't know if they make the playoffs this year. I don't know about that. It's still the same old Jets until they show me different. But there's some promise there on the Jets side. They didn't look bad last week. That's preseason, I guess. I get it. It's preseason. I get it. But they put up 30 points. 30 points is 30 points. It's, they played the Packers in Green Bay. And I don't know if the Packers played anybody for too long.
Probably not.
But the Packers were making silly, big-time mistakes. Cost them a lot of yards and penalties. They were penalized, severely. That's part of the game too. You'd figure. The teams that are penalized the most usually don't go too far, because you give up 100 yards in penalties. That's a touchdown.
So to quickly wrap up the NFL, because I know we feel like we've been going on a long time. You have the Steelers in the Super Bowl in the AFC.
I have the Steelers
playing who in the NFC?
Playing the Eagles. It's a Pennsylvania Super Bowl.
Okay, who wins?
That's Eagles.
So they go back to back.
They repeat. Yes.
Ooh.
They repeat.
Okay.
Now there's been no repeat.
They're Kansas City.
Kansas City. Right? Well, I think it's Eagles' turn. I don't think anybody. Right? If they continue the form they had last year, and if they stay away from injuries with their key players, I feel that the Eagles have a solid football team. They have a good defense, which wins championships.
Yep.
When the defense showed up, even the best offenses look pale. If they look great all year, again, I've been around a long time, and defense just wins championships. They just do. That's the way it happens.
So I wanted to get into college football, who your pick for the national championship is, and then
wow.
I was going to go into what I told you about the latest NFL EA exclusive video game license thing.
Okay, let's do the video game thing first.
All right.
Let's take a break. Let's segue through that first.
Okay, let's go to that first. Yep.
All right. So, you tell me that EA Sports.
So let me give the viewers basically what happened real quick.
Yeah.
I know we're running long, but I want to we got to hit this. Okay. So, and I'm going to use my notes here because I had to write this, basically the main points. So, according to Mike Straw Media, okay, EA was looking to save money by giving up exclusive simulation rights. They would rather do a non-exclusive deal, but the NFL pushed hard to keep the deal exclusive.
I don't get why that is.
You know why?
No.
Because this is my theory behind this. Remember when John Madden passed away in 2021?
Is it that long ago already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember they had the All Madden documentary, and then he passed away like 2-3 days later.
All right.
So, because EA is the company that was synonymous with him making their game,
right.
And I said this to my friends off camera years ago. I said, there's no way they give up the deal. There's no way they're going to give up that partnership. And now I think they knew what that deal was, but I think EA facing a lot of backlash from the players not buying the game. They had low reviews last couple years. They put a lot of energy into making this one good. Now, I haven't bought it since 23. Glad I haven't. Been buying college football, even though college football this year has not been good compared to last year, but that's a different subject. But now, when I hear that EA was willing to give up the deal of exclusive simulation rights, but the NFL wanted to keep it, tells me the NFL doesn't value competition. And that's disappointing. Now, I think it's more of a Goodell thing because Goodell knew the partnership that EA and John Madden had.
There's got to be some kind of money involved here. Because
yes,
fair competition brings out the best in everybody.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
We've all been playing Maddens forever. We all have.
Yes.
I'm an old guy, so I've been playing in the golden age of video games. So we go back to this story every time we do this.
Yes.
When I played other games besides EA Sports football games, they were good football games.
Yep.
They were not played like Maddens. Different setup, different buttons to do different things.
Yep.
But still a good game. The essence of football was there. You lose the essence of playing the game of football, you lose me. Because I like to play football. I'm not the kids, they like to do all kinds of things with trading and fantasy teams and all that stuff, but this is the good gameplay, honest gameplay is cardinal importance to me. Because when I get in, I want to go play a game of football. I sit there and play linebacker all day or quarterback all day. That's what I do when I play football. That's what I do. I watch the ball and I get after it, just like we all do. That's what playing football is all about.
Yep.
So the further you get away from doing that, the further I'm going to go away from doing that. Okay, I like to play football. So the thing with Madden's is it's taking us all away from that somehow, in a way. You know what I mean? There's too many distractions, too many things that are not the way they should be. A lot of people are dissatisfied with it. I've been playing only because, I can play other games. I still got my old video games from before this
So do
all
I have a
happened.
PlayStation Portable.
We got games that were out before there was a exclusive contract, and I still play those games from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm an old guy, but I still play video games. So again, I just think it's in the interest of everybody to expand on this thing, but NFL and exclusive rights. Why only one team? Why only have one developer have this advantage? If you have so many people who are passionate about football, I'm sure there's plenty of people who will put out quality products that will reflect the NFL's quality standards.
Yep.
Why not give them a shot?
I don't know why they wouldn't want competition.
I would say this to the NFL if I was a spokesman for any one of these companies. I would say, why don't you just for 1 year give them all opportunity to show the NFL their goods and get like a mock audience or mock audience of players to play some of their games who are not biased to a Madden format and see what's more fun, what's more enjoyable, okay? And you make up your mind there. You don't have to X Maddens out. Keep it there, but let other people make a game with the teams and the NFL players.
This is what I don't get from the money side. You're going to tell me with a straight face, whoever's in charge of the NFL making this decision, you're going to tell me that money from 2K, Sony, EA doesn't equal more money than just EA itself?
I would never say that.
No, but I'm asking whoever's in charge of that decision.
Yeah, I mean, where's that coming from?
What? This is why I'm thinking I don't know who's in charge of that decision.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody's getting paid who shouldn't be getting paid something, because it doesn't seem like it's coming from a logical point of view.
I think it's Goodell. I think it's Goodell making this call. My opinion. And I'll be honest, I never liked.
I don't want to get into who said, he said, she said.
I think it's Goodell. My theory.
With what goes on behind closed doors in NFL discussions and what their businesses decisions are. Mm-hmm. But it's the fans that suffer.
Yeah, and it sucks because
it's the fans that
this
suffer,
was the closest we ever got to being free of that exclusive rights symbiote.
Just giving people a choice. That's what this country's all about.
I don't like I said.
This is what country's all about.
Like I said, 2K's bad right now with basketball. Okay, now college basketball is getting a game that EA is going to be part of, right? But now 2K wants to join the game and stuff. Okay,
well that's good. You see competition. Here we go.
Yes, but why is it that NFL games are like, no, we want this? That's
I don't get that either.
That's what I'm.
I haven't gotten it for years.
And I think the theory is Goodell doesn't want to give up the partnership that EA Sports had with John Madden. I think that's a theory that they don't want to give up on that, and they want to latch on to that.
Trust me, it's not going to tarnish the Madden legacy.
No.
John Madden is stapled in our minds. There's no way it's coming out.
No.
Okay, until we're all dead and buried.
Yes.
Okay, anybody who's been on the planet
who's
watched John Madden broadcast, played one of his games, or watched one of his teams that he coached play.
Right.
Everybody respects the man.
Yes.
And it's almost like a family member to us.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
And that's why they still show John on every Thanksgiving Day game. Because he wasn't on every network. He was what was good about the NFL. He made us feel happy at home.
Yes.
Celebrating our holiday. We're never going to forget John.
Yep. So, like I said, I don't know. I think Goodell made this call personally. I do. Again, this is my opinion on this.
Yeah.
I think combined with the theory that I have, I think that's the reason why they didn't open up competition. And it sucks because as the fans, we were as close as we've ever gotten to them giving up the deal, and Twitter would have blown up instantly. And me and you would have been probably been talking for a long while. But
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, I don't really like who's in charge of that decision. I don't. I would really want to have that conversation of, look, why is the math not adding up to more money from different companies spreading through your license as opposed to one company solely in charge of your license? What math is not computing to more
The
results?
only thing I can think of,
Go ahead.
honestly,
Go
is
ahead.
because it's been so freaking long. You know how long it's been?
2005, you told me, right?
It's 20 years of exclusive rights to one league.
Yep.
That's unheard of.
It is.
That's a whole. If he was born when 2K5 came out, he would have never known another football game. Luckily, I turned him on to 2K5. It was the greatest football game he ever played.
We
He
talked
loved
about
that
it
game. He
numerous
loved that
times.
game.
We talked about it
And
numerous
it's
times.
not because it's so much better than Madden's, or maybe it was or wasn't. A lot of people argue that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. He enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
I love the ESPN presentation of it. I mean, there was other football games too. But I go back a long time. There's been a lot of good football simulations. I can go on. There's a pretty long list. Don't make me do it right now. But
No, we don't have time.
But the point is, it would never hurt the league. It would never hurt the league. Let the people decide, man. Give them a choice.
I mean,
Don't be a communist league. You can only play one way. You want to play football with authorized product, you must play our product. This is not Russia.
I mean,
This is the United States of America. We should have a choice.
you say you
As
care,
a fans.
you say you care about the fans, right?
Yeah.
You don't care about us when it comes to this game, wanting us, to have a different company.
You have to give people a choice. That's what this country is all about. Competition always makes the products better. Always. It's been proven.
Yep.
Okay? You take competition out of any industry,
Mm-hmm.
and the leader will rest on his laurels, and the consumer suffers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that with anything.
Yeah.
You need competition to bring out the best innovations, and to keep them on their toes, and to keep making it better, and making the people happy. And that's who's paying for these games.
Yep. Just like the same people that buy merch, the same
Right.
people that buy tickets,
That's right.
the
That's
same
right.
people that buy apparel. Okay, the same people that
If the NFL feels that
they're
there's-
paying for your YouTube TV to watch the ticket every
Listen,
Sunday.
if the NFL's afraid for any chance of anybody not representing them correctly, they can always not authorize the game. Give yourself a year to review what other developers have developed, and let a non-partisan audience play these games. And you tell them film them, watch their expressions on their faces, see what they like. I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff coming out there that won't be seen unless you give them a chance to be seen.
And there are good gaming developed companies, I will say. But anyway, let me get you out of here with this, Uncle Al. And again, thank you for doing this as always. Who's
My pleasure.
So college football released their preseason top 25.
Okay.
Texas number 1, Penn State was number 2, Ohio State 3, Clemson was 4, and then you had Georgia 5, Notre Dame, Oregon, LSU, Miami. Did I say Alabama?
No.
Okay, they were basically the top 10, not in order, but
Right.
And then you have your teams Indiana, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Arizona State's, Boise's, in that category of top 25. But let me ask you this: who you got making the national championship and winning it? Because I got my pick.
They have Texas as number 1.
Yep.
And right now, what I heard, the number 1 is actually an underdog in the first game of the season.
At Ohio State.
At Ohio State.
Yep.
To me, this could be a national championship game too.
Wouldn't shock me.
Really, seriously, it might be. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? And
This-
college is, how
Yeah.
college is.
I'll give my
But
money.
it could be a preview of your national championship, Texas and Ohio State, or it could be reversed at that point. Who knows? Let's see what Arch Manning has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's exciting to see another Manning come in
Yeah.
and make us watch their brand of, tossing the ball around the yard. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I love college football almost better than NFL. It's still pure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got Texas, Ohio State.
I want to say this first game on August 30th is going to be a preview of your national championship. There's my pick.
Okay.
All right.
Al, thank you as always, man. It's
my pleasure as always, man. Here
Lounge-
we go, 2025.
Lounge time. We will be back. We're just getting started, but we will be back next week. Yes, I'm previewing Iowa State, Kansas State up in Ireland. I will be back Friday to give a small preview on that game, but we are officially back in season. Check us out on Rumble, YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
You don't want to miss it. We're just getting the season started. But we will see you guys next week as we preview Week 0 of college football.
Are you
Have a
ready
good night.
for some football?
Have a good night, everybody.